Pat Bev, I'm going to ask this question and duck, but there were reports after the game that Chris Paul had a quad injury that he may have suffered at some point during the series, and he was limping after the game. Now, as one who follows you on Twitter, I have a feeling I know where you're going to go with this, but what do you make of the fact that it seems Chris Paul, at some point in this series, maybe in Game 6, suffered a quad injury?
Everyone's hurt in the playoffs. Everyone, right? He did the right thing by not saying it, but I tweeted at halftime, down 20, let's see who pulls the old I'm hurt or do, you know. Unfortunately, you don't want to wish injury on anybody, but it's kind of makeup of the game. I play against Chris, and it's not being biased, JJ. I know studs when I play against him, and I don't feel that from him. Yeah. I don't feel what I felt as an older player. I don't feel what I felt with Luka, with Chris Paul. It's just two different dogs, and there's no this credit gets CP. He gonna go up Hall of Fame. Of course. But I came on here to make sure the slander is correct, because you guys give out a lot of slander to a lot of people undeservingly. Now it's time to, give it to, the president of the NBA. I want to see how you guys take that. That's all I'm saying.
No, that's fair. So, look, Chris Paul played terribly the last 5 games of the series. We just put the numbers up there. He averaged 9-point-something points for a guy who is, to your point.
For the series?
For the last 5 games of the series, yeah. From the point they were up 2 games to none in the series. We can put the graphic back up there, Bianna, when you get a chance. She'll find it for us, that we had it up there. But Chris Paul's numbers went from whatever he was averaging to 9-point-something points per game over the last 5 games, in which they lost 4 out of the 5. So I think it is complete. There it is. First 8 games of this postseason, there you see it. He averaged 22.5 points. And look at the assists. I mean, the numbers fell off substantially, and the turnovers went up. So how do you explain it, Pat Bev? What should we say?
Getting attacked.
Getting attacked.
You got to work on your conditioning in the summer. You got to be able to guard the ball. You got to be able to play make. You got to be able to score. That has all to do with conditioning. He's been attacked. He's not used to that. Jason Kidd had a great game plan. He knew what he was doing exactly the first time he played them. And don't be surprised if you see this throughout the rest of Chris Paul's career. Coach is taking this. Attack Chris Paul, see what you go. Phoenix is in a tough position. Yeah. And you speak about James Harden getting paid and the money that CP3 make. I mean, that's a valid standpoint why James Harden should get paid at the same time.
He has multiple years left on his contract. He turned 37 a week and a half ago. Sometime during this series, Chris Paul turned 37 years old. In fact, I think it was on the day of Game 3 when everything really started to fall apart, which, of course, is a coincidence. Wendy, let me get one more thought from you in here. Go ahead. What do you make of all this?
Well, I agree with Beverley that the game plan that Jason Kidd put out there made Chris Paul uncomfortable. One of the things, even as the Suns had a terrific regular season, Chris Paul often would moderate his energy and save it all up for the fourth quarter and attack. We definitely saw that in the first round against the Pelicans. He was dominant in the fourth quarter. And Jason Kidd, a point guard, one of the greatest of all time, who knows what point guards like and don't like, especially later in their career, said we are not going to give Chris Paul that luxury. We are going to make him work from the first quarter. They started working on winning the game from the first quarter, and that is something that I think definitely was a factor. I just can't explain the turnovers. This is one of the greatest assist-to-turnover players in the history of the game. His assist-to-turnover ratio completely fell apart over these last 5 games. And so if he doesn't make baskets, they can win. If he can't create baskets, they can't win.
And so, JJ, just sort of put a ribbon on this, and we will get to the Celtics and all the rest of it here. We got Pat Bev with us all morning long, and we are and the whole crew here, and we're delighted for it. The reality is, one could sit here and say, well, he's 37 years old now, but the truth is these stats go all the way back. The history of postseason disappointment is one of the narratives with Chris Paul. It has been a long time. It's unavoidable.
Let's take these 5 games out of it for a second. So after Game 2, let's just look at it from that perspective. His numbers are actually better for his career in the postseason. So it's not his necessarily bad play. My question or my comment to Pat, and I think Pat nailed it when he said that Luka is in a different category. Chris Paul, if he is your best player or one of your 2 best players, it is shown historically like that's not good enough to win a championship. A Luka, a Giannis, these guys are in a different category because they are singular forces. LeBron James can drag a team to a NBA Finals and put you in a position to win a championship. It's 2 different categories. Chris Paul, absolutely. Hall of Famer, one of the best point guards ever. The one thing missing from his resume, it's glaring, and it's there.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.